Hey guys, Samuel Assassin here, and I'm bringing you a couple multiplayer battles for Fall of the Samurai. This first one is on Kansai Wood, I think, Kansai Wood. So here's my army. We're gonna put in slow-mo. I've got 3 Yariki without any upgrades, or without any experience, I mean. Still thinking Rome Total War here. I brought some white bears and 2 white bears and 2 white bears. Alright, that sounds right. 2 white bears, a red bear, and then 2 more black bears. Then in my second rank I've got 2 Yarikachi and 1 Katanakachi. And then my general. Now I'm still a low rank, so I'm still not that great. But over here, my enemy Grimgort, he's got 1, 2, 3. I think he's got 4 red bears and 1 infantry de marine. And then he's got a Katanakachi, a Kyoto police, and another Katanakachi, and then his general. So I just kind of naturally rushed my cavalry over to this archery dojo so I could get the increased reload speed. And because he wasn't really moving anyone at the very beginning, I was walking my guys, so they didn't get super tired at the beginning, just from the very start. So I was walking my entire army up, except for my cav. And then, oh, Andy's got 3 Yari Ki. Yeah, they are. One of them has no upgrades. Then another one has 1 chevron, and the other one has 3, which is fairly large amount of chevrons at this point. My highest is 2. I've got it on this Yarikachi and this white bear and this white bear. So yeah, and none of my Yariki have any. So I'm going to rush them over here so they can be hidden in these woods and maybe spring a surprise attack on his flank over here, especially where he's got these infantry de marines. Because I definitely want to take those guys out as soon as I can before they get a ton of kills. I think they'd get a ton of kills anyway in this battle. So now I'm running up my infantry to right in front of this archery dojo, so we can still capture it. And he's moving his Yariki over to my left flank, and he's actually charging them in. So I'm going to take these 3 line infantry and I'm going to move them back a bit to right here. Oh, I'm bringing up my spear, my Yarikachi, and they are going to catch this black bear, but they're only going to get a few kills. Only 6. I think I get them out before they get too many more. Oh wait, what the heck? Then they went up to 17. But then he made a smart move by pulling out his Yariki, but he didn't move them out before I got 30 kills on them. So they're down to half their strength. And neither of his other 2 took any losses at all. So that's fine. I'm really happy with that. And then I rushed over my Yariki. They were a little late, but it's fine. So now I'm reforming a little bit, moving my cav back, and reforming my spears to the left. My spears and my katanas to my left flank, just because that's where his cav is, and then he's got his Kyoto police over here and a Yarikachi, or Katanakachi. I always say those wrong. So we're just at a standoff somewhat here. I rushed up my general so he can inspire my men on the front lines. And now what I'm about to do, I'm gonna move up my guys, right, these 2 units up on this flank so they can kind of shoot like just at this infantry de marine, and then they can swoop down the flank. So he's moving his men up a little bit, I guess. Just out of range. This is when I move up these guys, And then I adjust my line. I'm gonna move these guys over to the right a bit. I think I moved just these 3 guys over to the right, just so there's no gap in the line right here. In a minute I do. Yeah, let's do the. Oh, it's just these 2, I guess. And then he's going to continue to move up his guys, and I'm going to get the first shots with my red bears. Now we take out 11 of them. Oh, and then this second unit starts shooting at these guys too, and they take some pretty heavy losses there. And then once these guys get into position, they also open fire on these guys, and so these guys are going to be under fire from 3 units. It's actually only 2 because I changed these guys and I tell them to shoot at the infantry de marine, and there's a good volley on them. They only got 3, but there's like some weird terrain right there. And they've already lost 13 guys. They're focusing fire on these guys, and they are taking some losses, some pretty heavy losses. His infantry de marine already got 60 kills, but this unit's routing now, and there's a hole in his line where they were. Right now I'm moving over some Yariki to my right flank, along with my Katanakachi. I'm going to try and take out his infantry de marine with melee style troops. And now I focus the fire of these guys onto his infantry de marine as well. They're down to 103 guys, but they're quickly dropping. But they've already got 115 kills, which is quite a lot. And then I give out a rally because this main part of the fight's about to happen. And now my micro gets kind of bad. I left this flank unprotected by spears or anything, so he's gonna get a nice charge in on this flank, and he's gonna get some pretty nice kills. But then I'm gonna rush in my Yariki and my Yarikachi, and this flank is just gonna turn into a massive melee. Yeah, his Yariki got pretty far into my line there and caused they got some pretty major destruction going. But then I rout them, which really helps me out. I believe, and I keep charging. I'm going to charge him right back with my cav, and we're going to rout one of these units, I think, or maybe even both. That red bear is definitely demoralized, and so are those Katanakachi, and we're gonna use these. I'm gonna use my Yarikachi here to hold off his Katanakachi and Kyoto police. Where is that? Oh, that was my cav. That's not them. I think it was. I think it was my cav. Oh no, I think it was one of these infantry units that was getting pounded. So now I'm charged. I actually already charged with my Katanakachi, and they routed the infantry de marine. And now his infantry on this flank is completely gone, and I've got 2 units of line infantry, my Yariki and my Katanakachi left. These guys are going to open fire into their flank and kill their general. And these Yariki are going to rack up some kills. As you can see, they already got 30 kills just from that one charge. And I've also got a free unit on this flank who's going to line up and start shooting at them. These Yarikachi only got 41, 59. Not too great of stats, but I mean, not like I can't think of the word. Incredibly large amount of kills by anyone, really. 93 by that one unit of Yariki. That was good. So that was the first one, and now I've got a few traditional replays to show you. I was not playing as the traditional army. I will try and, I guess I can try and get a victory of me beating a Fall of the Samurai army with a traditional army. I'll try and do that for you guys, because that's really difficult. I think it is, at least. Well, at least for me, I'm not very good with the original Shogun 2 armies online. I'm much better with these Fall of the Samurai armies. So yeah, here we go. put it into slow motion. Whoa. That was kind of weird. I accidentally clipped the map. So we're going to go into slow motion here. I've got one red bear, two red bear, one on each flank, and two black bears and two white bears. And I think all of these guys have at least one chevron of experience, except for this one unit of red bears. And then I've got my Yarikachi. I've got 2 units of Yarikachi, and then 3 units of Yariki. Without again, none of these guys have upgrades. And then my general. So over here, my opponent made a mistake, and he had some Wako Raiders who he had hidden over here. This was a sword dojo. These dojos didn't really favor me much. We're gonna go into play mode. I mean, of course, there's the archery dojo, which I'm rushing again. I didn't rush it with my cav this time. They're hidden in the forest. But he ran these Wako Raiders, and I saw them there, and I knew he was capturing the sword dojo. So I moved over one of my units of red bear infantry over, and I'm gonna support them with this Yarikachi because he does have quite a bit of cav. I think he's got 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. And now he's going to counter my red bears with his Yari Cav, who have 4 chevrons of experience, which is, or no, 3, sorry, which is still pretty good. So I'm gonna quickly rush my Yarikachi up. And here's another bad move of Micro. I was paying attention over here, and I didn't really see what was going on over here. And he's gonna get this nice charge in on my line infantry. But then I rushed in this Yarikachi right here, and I'm gonna rush in my Yariki, who he still doesn't know I have them, which is kind of nice. So now my Yarikachi have taken over, and they're gonna decimate this unit of Yarikav. Here's when I notice. So I'm gonna quickly rush out my cav, and they're gonna come in and hit them from the flank, and his cav isn't gonna stand a chance anymore. So his Yari Cav is routing. These guys have only lost 2 men. So now I'm gonna.
The damned enemy is damned ambushed.
That sounded kind of funny. My Yari Ki is routing them over there on the flank, and his Wako Raiders and my Yari Kachi are gonna square off here. It's gonna be a pretty nice charge. Oh. And my Yari Kachi are gonna lose this fight just because they're simply not vetted as much as his Wako Raiders are, but it's okay because I've got these red bears right there, are virtually untouched. So we've won the cav fight over here, and he's rushing up his main infantry force. He's got a Tetsubo warrior monk hero, a bulletproof samurai, and a Naginata warrior monk hero. Those guys are gonna do some pretty tough. They're gonna be pretty tough for me to beat in melee. But luckily, I routed his Tetsubo warrior monk hero before they even got to me. I basically killed all of them except for this one guy. Lucky. And he does have a unit of Daikyu samurai, and I was trying to stay in as close to them as I could because I didn't want them to inflict a lot of casualties on me. They've got 101 kills right now, which is pretty good. These Yarikachi are only at 12. And then he rushed over 2 units of sword attendants over here on this flank. I really shouldn't have been as scared of them as I was, but with their morale, I knew I could easily beat them I could easily rout them in a shootout, or not even a shootout, just by shooting them, because I've got another unit of red bears standing right there. Now over here, I'm gonna use my Yari Ki, and I'm gonna try and take out his general, who's got some pretty massive melee stats over here, 28 and 18. That's gonna beat all of my Yari Ki. So I didn't show you this unit of Wako Raiders getting shot to death, but they did. And these red bears are moving into position so they can shoot at these guys who have routed my white bears and my other white bears. But over here, his guys just aren't gonna have high enough morale. I've got a unit of black bears and a unit of, I guess I've got 2 red bears and black bears. And I've got my general right here, and then I've got another black bear coming in to shoot them from the flank. And finally, after a long time, my Yariki has taken out his general. After taking some pretty heavy casualties, his general put up a good fight. But it was at the perfect time too, because they came in and charged them in the flank right as these guys started opening fire. It routed their Yari. Oh, I guess that was my Yarikachi. It routed their Katana Samurai, and it severely damaged the morale of these warrior monk hero. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to charge in with this unit of red bears so we can finish off this Naginata warrior monk hero, who's got some pretty sick stats. 28 and 18 is the same as his general, except he's got like amazing morale and just amazing everything. So I've brought my general back over and my triumphant troops from the left flank, and I'm going to set these guys up on a on a defensive perimeter just in case these guys try and pull a fast one. I don't want these guys, because these guys could. I wouldn't have been surprised if they killed all of my guys right here. So I would have these guys set up to shoot them, and they wouldn't stand a chance then.
General, look! Their allies run!
So they're down. Oh, they just routed. They're in the bright green uniforms there. Alright, there's one. And they just got sandwiched. So they're dead. And I won the battle. So here comes the last one. Last battle I got against you guys. Now this guy was I think he was a new player, and he didn't have Fall of the Samurai, but he had just normal Shogun 2. And he's only like a 3-star general when I played him. So he's gonna have like a low experience army, lots of troops, not very high quality. But that's okay, because, I mean, I guess I'm kind of the same way, but my guys they've got, like, lower improved, like, they've got improved stats, but it's just not very much. Now this time, all of my, I've only brought 4 infantry, because I wanted more melee troops, so I could have, a little bit of an advantage there. But on my front lines, I've got 1 red bear infantry, and it looks like 2 black bears, and my Infanterie de Marine. They've all got 2 chevrons. And then I've again got 2 Yarikachi, and this time both of them have 2 chevrons, and my Katanakachi, who have 2 chevrons now. As for my cavalry force, I've got 2 Yariki, I think I've got 2 Yariki, and one of them's got 1 chevron, and then I've got a Saber Cav, who have 1 chevron. I don't get what everybody's saying about Saber Cav not being that good. They've been good for me. I mean, you've got to use them like Katana Cav and normal Shogun 2. I guess they do appear to be much slower than the Yariki. But I mean, they did good enough. They did, like, I'm sure they would do fine against sword infantry or something. I might have to test that sometime. But my opponent does have some hidden cavalry right in here, and they're gonna come out and try and attack my infantry in a minute. So there wasn't really any good spots for me in this battle. Oh wait, I guess there was another archery dojo. Alright. I have fought a battle on this map before that I showed you guys in one of my previous online videos, or videos of online battles. I was fighting up here for a morale shrine, and he had wooden cannons like right over here or something, and all that good stuff. So my opponent, he's got 3 bow samurai right there, and then he's got 4 Yari Ashigaru, and those guys are, oh, I guess he's got 5. He's got 5 Yari Ashigaru. He had one up there. And then he's got 5 Katana Samurai, these guys are going to be the main killing force of his army, or at least they should be. And then he's got, I don't know what kind of cav. I think it's 3 or 4 light cavalry units, which again is pretty bad. And I think he's about to bring them out right from over here, because I'm moving up my infantry now. So he's moving his katana samurai around this flank, and he's gonna try and get me on this side. And I don't blame him. That's a pretty good tactic. If he uses all of his ashigaru right, and like if he could have pinned me down in the center and then had these guys come around on the flank, and timed it all right, that would have been a really nice tactic to use. And now his bow samurai does outrange my line infantry, so I saw they were in range, and I'm gonna move my guys back, and it's really retarded. Like when I gave the attack order for my line infantry to move back here, they like tried to switch positions and everything, and it was kind of ridiculous. And so they almost got shot. They got shot at, but they got one. These both samurai got one volley off, but none of them got any kills, as you can see. So here come his 5 katana samurai and his 4 light cav. None of them have any upgrades. So he is gonna get me here. He's gonna get my. He's gonna catch. I think he's gonna catch some of my line infantry. Yeah, he's gonna catch this red bear infantry. But I saw him, and I used my Yari key, and I moved into position. So now he's gonna try and charge in with his katana samurai. Oh, I'm sorry. He has 4 katana samurai and 1 nodachi samurai. That was my mistake. So he did rout one of my red bear infantry. They didn't really get. They only lost what 36 guys. And so over here I was a little slow to react to his his samurai charge. So I had to reposition these guys and hold them off with my katana kachi. And these guys this is gonna turn into a massive melee over here. My infantry day marine didn't even get to shoot any yet, and they're gonna go into melee for a second. But I did luckily I finally got my general his shooting ability. And over here was another micromanagement mistake. I left my cav in here against all these Yari Ashigaru, and that's gonna end badly every time. So I left these black bears in to hold these guys in place, while I moved my infantry day marine and another unit of black bears out to the side so they could shoot.
A unit is running from the
And it's gonna turn out nice because these guys are gonna come back from routing, and these guys are shooting.
Sir, your general
And my infantry day marine is gonna start racking up some kills. I charge into these guys with my cav, and they're gonna start routing soon because they're just being unloaded on in the back. And so here's that saber cav. They've got 14 kills already, and they're gonna start racking up some nice kills right here. Already up to 55, and they just went in. And as you can see, these guys are routing now, and so are these guys. So we've won the massive melee over here. My katana kachi did very well, got 120 kills. Over here, my Yari kachi did a very good job of holding these Yari Ashigaru in place. And these guys are actually going to rout over here, and then they're going to come back from routing randomly. And I didn't see that until much later in the battle. And now I'm going to kind of do a last stand kind of glory charge with my cav. His archers are wide open. So I'm like, this could be a chance to neutralize his archers and his range advantage over me right now. So I'm going to charge in my cav, and that was more of a distraction than anything. I knew they wouldn't get very many kills. I knew they wouldn't survive. But they did take out quite a few of his archers, and they delayed his entire army enough for me to move all of my line infantry back into place. And as you can see, these black bears came back from routing, and so did these red bears from earlier in this first brawl at the very beginning. And now my infantry de marine, they've only got 64 kills right now, but I'm moving them up and they're going to start racking some kills up right here. And over here, I believe this is his general. Oh no, that's my Yariki. Yeah, they're going to start racking up some kills. They're going to get over 100 kills this battle. And now I see that his archers outrange my line infantry again, and they're shooting at my infantry de marine. So I move them back into position. I'm trying to close the range. I tried to move up with my general and get some shots off with him into these guys who haven't lost anyone yet. But all that really did was lose a couple of my general's bodyguard units. So what I ended up doing is moving up this Black Bear infantry a little bit and then focusing my fire on these middle guys so that if they missed to the left or right, I would still hit one of them. And you just saw my infantry de marine tear up another unit of his katanas or nodachis or something, and now you can see these Yarikachi are back and I haven't moved them. That was kind of bad micro on my part. So now I'm also focusing fire with my infantry de marine. They're shooting at these archers too, racking up some more kills, up to 130, and climbing very quickly, considering their reload skills are 100. My god. And so now I just kind of told them to charge into these guys. That was kind of stupid of me. It was a 41 on 40, and their Katana Samurai probably should have won that, but their morale was just too low. So over here, he's finally charging with his Yari Ashigaru, and it's going to turn into a massive melee. My guys aren't really going to be shooting much. And I believe, yeah, my infantry de marine, they did win this, but they ended up routing. Yeah, they rout just because of the archers over here. And so now he brings his general over with only 7 minutes, and I decide to charge his general with my general, who has got 10 men left, and his general is superior in melee according to the stats, but my general is going to beat his, because I believe my general had a charge bonus and his didn't. And so now my Yarikachi are back, and they're going to charge into the back of these Spo Samurai and rout them. And this brave unit of Black Bear infantry held off 3 or 4 hordes of Yari Ashigaru and ended up routing them without any help by anyone, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, these Black Bears have 81 kills. My Katana Kachi got 163 kills, which